That deadly quake in Nepal, and we continue to have stories generated from this quake zone. A look at the forces causing it, plus one of the biggest seismic threats right here in the U.S. Something we should pay attention to. But first, Jim, something else we got to pay attention to, this triple-digit heat.
Big time. You know, it's interesting. Phoenix averages about 120 degree. Wait, hold on. Pause. 120 days of 100-degree heat or more.
Perfect.
Okay? There we go. We start this thing on Thursday. 100 degrees. There we go. Friday, 101 degrees. The Diamondbacks will be hosting the Colorado Rockies. So as Denver even gets to 80 degrees, we'll see, obviously, Phoenix get a lot hotter than that. Looks like it'll be a nice air conditioning game inside. So there you go. All right, let's talk about what we got. And obviously, if it's the ridge in the west, we've got the trough in the east. That's usually how it works, ladies and gentlemen. Subtropical and polar phasing in the east. And it's interesting because this little disturbance over Atlanta this morning will sit off the coast. The surface low associated with it, I should say, will sit off the coast and really wait for this next disturbance right up here, just north of Lake Superior, to make the turn and come around and kick the whole thing off toward the east. But this whole pattern locks us into two things: some pretty nice dry air, comfortable air, and also pretty much knocks down the severe weather because our winds are out of the northeast and we shut off the Gulf of Mexico. Just shut off the moisture source. We will need a week for this to turn around and get us the severe weather threat back into the Central Plains, and we'll talk about that at 50 past the hour. All right, here we go. Round of storms that came through Miami and Fort Lauderdale this morning. Catherine, did we get the 0.05 inches that we needed to break the record in Fort Lauderdale? We did. So we got a daily record in Fort Lauderdale. Key West, more to come to. You can see it right offshore. Let's take a look at Key West and see what's going on out there. You can see the lens is wet here. Our visibility is down, certainly, with the stormy weather moving in. Keep the dinghy at the dock, ladies and gentlemen. This looks like it's going to be a long day. You've never heard that before, yeah?
No, I have not.
Like
That's the first time, but I do enjoy it.
Really?
No.
Yeah, you enjoyed that. All right, so the model does a nice job with initiation down here with the storms that are going on. So let's see how long it keeps us here. You can watch the time right up in the upper right. This is the HRRR, the HRRR model that we're looking at. And I'm using this one over the RPM, the WSA RPM, because I like the initiation better. But you can see Keys are still getting hammered at 1:30, still getting hammered at 2 o'clock, even 6 o'clock now. So this is the update. This thing updates every hour here, and you can see Key West is still getting it even at 6 o'clock tonight. A few more storms by 7:30. Needless to say, keep it at the dock, the dinghy at the dock all day today. Maybe a few thunderstorms across the central part of the state if we can get enough instability. But remember, a lot of high clouds in through here today, even post a shower and thunderstorm. All right, stormy weather for Savannah up through Charleston. Oh, I can almost taste that shrimp and grits right now. All of a sudden, that low pressure, which is actually out here, starts to head to the east, kind of waits for that upper air disturbance to come on through. This kind of charges it a little bit, and then it just kicks it onto the east. But that locks the northeast into northeast flow. It'll be cool in Boston, but really even into the south. Beautiful, dry air, which will hang with us right through, I think, the majority of the weekend, Sam. And by the time we jump into Monday, all that warmth that we just talked about in Phoenix, starts to move all the way into the northeast. We go from 16 degrees below average in Boston on Friday to 16 above.
All right. Put your hands on the flip-flops and get them ready.
Yeah, exactly.
Ladies and gentlemen, my dinghy is docked. All right. With 18 days of rain so far in Atlanta this month, it is the 8th wettest April on record. And our own Anaritis Rodriguez is live in Centennial Olympic Park, where rain has already been an issue on the drive-in this morning. Good morning, A-Rod.
Hey there, good morning, Sam. Good morning to you at home. That's right. We have a little bit of a lull in the action. I'm noticing a break in the clouds more to my north, but it has been raining all morning. We've had a number of accidents in and around the city. I've heard of an accident on 20 westbound by exit 88 where all lanes are blocked. Of course, when we have rain, when we have wet roads, that increases the chance of you getting into an accident. But we are live at Centennial Park, the beautiful Ferris wheel behind me, and we actually ran into some tourists. It's John and Carolyn Bucko from Australia. They've made it all the way here to Atlanta from Australia. You got here yesterday. Did you expect to see Centennial Park under rainy skies?
No, we didn't. And look, it's absolutely beautiful here. And it's nice and wet, and it's very lush and green. We just flew over from Los Angeles, and I was expecting everything to be dry like it was over there. It was beautiful, very nice here.
You guys are dressed for the occasion. You have your raincoats on, you have your umbrella in hand, you're ready for the day. What are the plans? And if it keeps raining, do you plan on sightseeing?
We're still going to sightsee even if it's raining, because we're coming into winter in Australia, so we started to rug up anyways.
Well, I hope you enjoy your time in Atlanta. The aquarium is that way, okay?
And you people are very friendly. All the Americans are very friendly.
Hey.
Very noticeable.
You
very
tell
nice.
everyone in Australia that when
Yeah,
you go
lovely.
back, okay?
No, we love it.
Make
It's
sure
very
you
nice.
come and visit.
We will. Thank you so much. Enjoy your day. And Sam, we are traveling with the Toyota Mobile Weather Fleet. You can notice our radar. I love it because I can pull up the Weather Channel app, and as you can see, showers in the forecast for the remainder of the day, up to ½ an inch expected today here in Atlanta. Back to you. How cool are they?
I know. How cool are they? And I just fell in love with them. And we all, I mean, they're fantastic. Thank you for finding some folks and bringing them forth. All right, the rain, it's not just about the rain. It's about the temperature as well. And Jen, there's, they're bundled up, and they're bundled up for a reason.
Yeah, and the people there are like, did we take the plane to the wrong area? Are we really in the UK? What's going on in Atlanta?
Exactly.
Right, it is cloudy, it's rainy out there. Good morning to you. We want to start off right now talking about Minneapolis. Temperature 48 degrees there. Now, your temperatures are warming up nicely. Guess what today? How about a comfortable 70 degrees for your afternoon high? All right, let's break it down. We talk about the forecast for Denver. Today, high of 75 degrees. Earlier, I was talking about how Denver's temperatures and the weather is just madness there. You've actually warmed up nearly 30 degrees since Monday when you saw a high of 46 degrees. So this is what happens when you go to Denver. You get all kinds of temperature swings. 75 today. Your average high should be 65. You're above average. And then for the weekend, looks to be really pretty spectacular number-wise. Almost 80 degrees. Now we look at the forecast. Temperature is going to be above average, and this is why the ridge is building, but it's going somewhere. It's going over towards the east. As it does, it's going to pump those numbers up for areas including parts of the Midwest. This is going to feel more like summer temperatures. Yes, it is still spring, but apparently the calendar doesn't think it. Temperatures running 5 degrees above average for Minneapolis. It gets better than that. Look at that. Denver 75, 11 degrees above average for you in Bismarck. Kansas City, I think you can fire up the grill. Make me some burn-ins. I'm thinking that sounds pretty good right now. Tomorrow, looking at more 70s out there. Chicago, you are still staying cool. You're cool today, and that's because we have those winds coming in off the lake, and it's going to feel rather crisp out there with certainly the water being in the upper 30s and the 40s, just walking along there, Lake Michigan.
I didn't hear anything you said after Kansas City burnt ends.
I know.
I got to say, now that's it. That's the best. Google them if you don't know what they are, because they're amazing. A rescue story you saw unfold right here on AMHQ.
I got bit by a snake.
C'est pas poison.
Poison? Okay. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. I feel that.
C'est pas poison.
That's definitely poison.
Apparently, I'm immune to venom.
Immune to venom?
Steve.
How was your day?
Girl troubles?
Dad.
Try this. Say, look into my eyes. Deeper.
Thanks. I'll try that.
By the way, Nancy, delicious. And this new kibble blend is so healthy.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kibbles and bits, because every bit matters.
We know you can't control the weather, so we build things to harness it.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Current. Today, thunderstorms developing in the afternoon. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. High 88. Tonight, partly cloudy. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 72. Winds west-southwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Thursday, mostly cloudy. High 84. Winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All you got to do do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
Do you regularly wear underwear? Do you wear underwear?
Yeah.
Deb?
Yes.
Yes.
I never wear underwear.
Never. Was that too much information?
Yes.
Now, do you think you can get too much information from your car?
No.
There's an email from my car. There are hundreds of diagnostics that the vehicle gathers and sends to me. Does anybody want to meet the sender of this email? This is the 2015 Chevy Malibu.
I love it.
Join Red Nose Day, a national event to help lift children out of poverty. It's easy. Buy a Red Nose exclusively at Walgreens and start making a difference. It's a good laugh for a good cause. Tune in on May 21st to watch the Red Nose Day benefit live on NBC.
All right, that search for 3 missing boaters in Alabama is nearing day 5. And the U.S. Coast Guard is calling this a search and rescue mission. Now, they may have to change that. They're hoping to find the trio alive, and their criteria for the shift will be later on today if they don't. More than 100 boats were taking part in the 57th annual Dauphin Island Regatta on Saturday when a storm hit, and I mean one bear of a storm with near hurricane force winds. At least 3 people were killed. Bad weather has hampered much of the search, but crews have managed to comb more than 4,200 square miles of water and 70 miles of shoreline, and that's quite a bit to do. The Gatson family was among many of the boaters who participated in the regatta, and they were also tossed into the water. Father Ron was on the boat with 15-year-old Hannah. Hannah's a classmate of Ron's daughter, Sarah, who was on a different boat at the exact same time. We spoke to him about that terrifying ordeal just in the last hour when we were on the show. I hope you were here. If you weren't, this is what it sounded like.
Like you said, it changed really fast. We saw the lightning come in, and probably about 7 minutes later, that's when we pretty much hit the 73-mile-an-hour winds, and it hit us for about 7 seconds, and then we were in the water. So it was pretty quick.
We had a disabled iPhone that turns into an emergency phone, so we were able to call 911, and then we had a handheld GPS, so we could give our coordinates. It was a little nerve-wracking, but I guess the whole thing is you got to remember to stay calm, because when you start freaking out, that's when everything goes downhill.
Brave young woman and the entire group, really. Jim, look at the radar of what happened during that storm. I think you got one ready, right?
I'm just a little shocked that there wasn't some kind of a large-scale weather brief on this, because we were in a severe thunderstorm watch at the time, and look at this squall that came through here. You can see how, especially if you look just over Dauphin Island there, you see how the leading edge of that red area just bowed out over Mobile Bay. So they had, that's a tremendous wet microburst with all that as it moved through, and a lot of wind, unfortunately. So that, it was clear as day that was coming. And what's interesting is they started the race late. If they had started it on time, I don't think they would have had to deal with that weather. And so once you go late and once you have that stuff coming at you and you're in a watch, you're playing with fire.
All right, and let's look forward, because there are a couple of things that we learned here. And one of them is we know everybody loves to enjoy this, but let's have a plan. Let's make sure we're delivering a weather forecast. This is the weather forecast for today, hour by hour. So let's make sure before boaters hit the water, if you're hosting a regatta or if you're a family member who's in one, make them do this. Make them give you a weather briefing so you know what's going on. And also make them take a list of everybody that's in your boat so they know who's on the water, if anything were to go wrong.
If I see your tweet, ask me. I'll be happy to give you a second and look at it. And if I see something on the radar, I'll be happy to give it to you. I mean, that's what I'm here for.
I love it. I love it. All right,
absolutely. Jen. Make sure everybody's accounted. All right, let's talk now about what's happening across parts of the Northeast. And Northeast, you have some clouds around across areas, including Boston, because you have, lucky you know it, a little bit of an onshore flow there. As we show you Boston, you're going to be locked in the clouds today, but you're also going to be cool. We're in the 50s. You were cool yesterday, but did you notice you warmed up a bit yesterday? You actually had those winds shift out of the north, so boosted your temperatures up 10 degrees. But today, expect to see the 50s around. As we show you sunshine elsewhere, just except for Boston, 63 degrees in New York, 68 degrees, and areas like D.C. as well as into Pittsburgh. But as we show you, the winds are actually going to be coming out of the south. We're going to start to see some of those clouds clouds working in. You can see moving into parts of Virginia as we head into the late afternoon, and then comes that chance of rain. It's that low that we've been telling you about, the coastal low, and we're watching this and the track of this because potentially we could be looking at some rain and some wind impacts. Right now, it looks like the better chance hugging the areas and impacting parts of the mid-Atlantic, even the Carolinas. But if we see that going over towards the east more, of course, that's going to be better weather for parts of the Northeast. While AMHQ continues, we're going to talk more about Nick Walinda.
You drop 40 grand on a new set of wheels, then wham, a minivan T-bones you. Guess what? Your insurance company will only give you $37,000 to replace it. Depreciation, they claim. How can my car depreciate before its first oil change, you ask? Maybe the better question is, why do you have that insurance company?
With Liberty Mutual New Car Replacement, we'll replace the full value of your car. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
True Green presents the Yardleys.
Hello?
You did? You really?
Ding dong.
Oh, the pizza's here. Hey, come on in.
Right.
Whoa! Lose the sneakers, pal. Kind of a thing.
This is more than a lawn. This is a True Green lawn.
Sorry.
Live life outside with True Green, America's #1 lawn care company. Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today.
Bye now.
True Green. Live life outside.
Had a headache, but now I don't. Excedrin is fast.
In fact, for some, relief starts in just 15 minutes. Excedrin.
Wow, that was fast.
Joseph A. Bank presents Buy One, Get More. Choose from sport coats, shirts, pants, and more. Purchase one item and receive any 2 items free. Sale ends Saturday. Joseph A. Bank, the new tradition since 1905.
Nexium 24 Hour. It's the purple pill. The #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand, available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
We're here today asking kids what their favorite vegetable is.
Kids?
Now we're going to give those same kids Bush's Baked Beans.
That's good.
And finally, we're going to tell them that Bush's Baked Beans are actually a vegetable.
Ixnay on the vegetable bay.
Oh, right. Bush's secret family recipe gives them a delicious flavor, so they're a vegetable that kids actually like.
Bush's Baked Beans. Try our new brown sugar hickory.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind. I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash
This is perfect.
is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, Sundays at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
You're driving along, having a perfectly nice day, when out of nowhere a pickup truck slams into your brand new car. 1 second, it wasn't there, and the next second, boom, you had your first accident. Now you have to make your first claim. So you talk to your insurance company, and boom, you're blindsided for a second time. It won't give you enough money to replace your brand new car. Don't those people know you're already shaken up?
Liberty Mutual's new car replacement will pay for the entire value of your car, plus depreciation. Call 1-888-731-2166. And for drivers with accident forgiveness, Liberty Mutual won't raise your rates due to your first accident. Switch to Liberty Mutual Insurance and you could save up to $423. Call Liberty Mutual for a free quote today at 1-888-731-2166. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. High 87. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 72. Thursday, mostly cloudy. High 84. Winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Here we go, approaching 20 minutes after the hour. Hello, America, and good morning to you, Phoenix. Phoenix, oh, yeah, but do you feel the sizzle? Do you feel that little bit of crackle in the air this morning? Get ready.
Crackle.
71, it might just be the dry heat making that sound. 71 degrees for you this morning. 97 degrees back on March 29th, so far the warmest. On average, Jim, the city hits 100 degrees. Somewhere around.
Yeah, around May 2nd, I think.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they have 120 days a year of 100 degrees or more. Notice how I can get that out if I slow it down a little bit.
Yeah, and it worked out well.
Yeah, day one of one. Here we go, day one.
And so we're ready to give you the forecast, but let's check in with meteorologist James Quinones this morning for KPNX. And, hey, James, so are you guys ready for this? Are you ready to start this run a little early?
Yeah, you know what? I don't know if we ever get ready because we have such a beautiful fall. Winter's unbelievable here and most of spring. Yeah. But people they're getting a little bit worried about it. It's about the time of year for our first 100-degree temperature, but it's going to start to heat up. But remember, we're here in the valley. We're here in Phoenix, the land down under. We're a hardy breed. And I'll tell you what, if it's under 110, we can take it. But the first 100-degree, it's always tough because it's transitioning into the actual heat season here in Phoenix.
All right. Hey, James, come back and visit and hang out with us anytime you want in the morning. I know you guys are hooked up and ready to do your show. I don't know if you can hear me or not because I can see you playing there. But yeah, just come back and play with us because we love to check in with you guys and see how everybody's handling what's going on in the Phoenix area.
His IFP's dead. That's why he's giving us the old. See this? I'm going to answer your question.
I'm playing with the volume.
But you know, the other thing, too, I just want to mention this because Arizona is one of the most beautiful states I've ever seen. I've been in every one of them except North Dakota for weather. Sedona, Flagstaff, hour and a half away. You're up in elevation. Yeah. Absolutely gorgeous, even into June and July.
Yeah. Absolutely beautiful.
Except for the monsoon. Watch out for the thunderstorms if you're in the canyon. All right, let's talk about this pattern here, which is just awesome to draw as a meteorologist. You get the right color up here. I mean, look at this thing. Stretches way back toward the west. Got the subtropical, keeping things active in South Florida this morning. And really, you can see where that ridge is over the west right now. It's just kind of centered here right over the western part of the country. And it's getting pinched off a little bit, but northeast flow aloft over Arizona, nice and warm. Remember, the rim is to the northeast of Phoenix, so with northeast flow, it's going to be sinking air, and it's going to warm up nicely over the next couple of days. So there you see that ridge shows up a little bit better here. This is kind of what I just drew you in a little bit more detail. These are pieces of energy that move through the pattern. We call these short waves, and what's interesting is this first one is going to basically sit the low right out here off the southeast coast, so unsettled weather. And then here comes this next one charging along, and that's going to, I think, really kick it off toward the east. But of course, behind that, now you've got high pressure settling in, beautiful weather, except for those right on the immediate coast, because remember that coastline is very, very cold and influenced by the water. But here's this ridge. We start to see it moving east as we go in towards Saturday and Sunday, and what a great time for it to move east, Sam Champion. Rumor has it you're going to be up there for the Run for the Roses.
Rumor confirmed.
There you go.
Yeah.
Absolutely perfect day. For actually the Oaks on Friday and then the Run for the Roses on Saturday. So we keep you cool on the East Coast with this trough, all right? But look, see what's looming? Here it comes. And it's really that transition in between the cold in the east and the warm in the west that's going to give Churchill Downs some beautiful weather. How's that, Sam?
That's gorgeous, sir.
Yeah.
That's
mint juleps will taste all that much better.
Bourbon right there, Jim.
And it will be. All right, so Saturday, here comes the ridge. Perfect weather over Churchill Downs. Pattern starts to change a little bit. What does that mean for severe weather? We'll talk about that at 50 past. Stick around.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8, brought to you by Champion Windows, Sunrooms, and Home Exteriors. Every home needs a champion.
According to the U.S. Department of Energy, most homes have air leaks and drafts that waste so much energy, it's like leaving a window open in your home all year long. Don't let another year go by. Call Champion Windows at 844-4CHAMPION. And right now, when you buy 2 rooms of windows, you get the 3rd room free. Plus, Champion now offers no money down, no payments, and no interest for 12 months. So call 844-4CHAMPION today. Because every home needs a champion.
When you do business everywhere, the challenges of keeping everyone working together can quickly become the only thing you think about. That's where AT&T can help, with the tools and the network you need to make working as one easier than ever, virtually anywhere, leaving you free to focus on what matters most.
New Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray outperforms a leading allergy pill. Most allergy pills only control one substance. Flonase controls 6. So go ahead, inhale life. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
Across America, people like Basketball Hall of Famer Dominique Wilkins are taking charge of their type 2 diabetes with non-insulin Victoza.
For a while, I took a pill to lower my blood sugar, but it didn't get me to my goal. So I asked my doctor about Victoza. He said Victoza works differently than pills and comes in a pen. Victoza is proven to lower blood sugar and A1C. It's taken once a day, anytime. And the needle's thin. Victoza is not for weight loss, but it may help you lose some weight.
Victoza is an injectable prescription medicine that may improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes when used with diet and exercise. It is not recommended as the first medication to treat diabetes and should not be used in people with type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis. Victoza has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Victoza is not insulin. Do not take Victoza if you have a personal or family history of medullary thyroid cancer, multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you are allergic to Victoza or any of its ingredients. Symptoms of a serious allergic reaction may include swelling of face, lips, tongue, or throat, fainting or dizziness, very rapid heartbeat, problems breathing or swallowing, severe rash or itching. Tell your doctor if you get a lump or swelling in your neck. Serious side effects may happen in people who take Victoza, including inflammation of the pancreas, pancreatitis, which may be fatal. Stop taking Victoza and call your doctor right away if you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe pain that will not go away in your abdomen or from your abdomen to your back, with or without vomiting. Tell your doctor about all the medicines you take and if you have any medical conditions. Taking Victoza with a sulfonylurea or insulin may cause low blood sugar. The most common side effects are nausea, diarrhea, and headache. Some side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney problems.
If your pill isn't giving you the control you need, ask your doctor about non-insulin Victoza. It's covered by most health plans.
I am never getting married.
We're never having kids.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
I'm Sam. Jim's here as well this morning.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
that was good.
And if you're watching AMHQ, then you know we got you up and out this morning. We love to see your pictures. All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. High 87. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 72. Thursday, mostly cloudy. High 84. Winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Sundays.
One man's trash
Get to work.
is another man's totally awesome beer can space heater.
Hi. Brainstormers. Sundays at 9. Only on the Weather Channel.
your friends, drag them to the TV set.
Yeah,
this is a fun next 5 or 8 minutes. You're not going to believe this stuff. Cities are watching. Let's just jump to Orlando because it's the coolest place on the planet right now because of what was happening early this morning. We'll show you that it's cloudy right now at about 75 degrees. But Nik Wallenda was at it again this morning. Our buddy Nick can't keep his feet on the ground. His latest stunt, walking the perimeter of the Orlando Eye. And that's this giant Ferris wheel. And he did it without a balancing pole. So he climbed up it and then walked around it. And what may have been the coolest part of the whole thing was NBC's Kerry Sanders ran right up behind him and started doing the interview running around the wheel with Nick. Kerry's there live. Kerry, you climbed it this morning, right?
Oh, it was amazing in my head. No, it was incredible. That's 400 feet up there. He was so high. I mean, and remember, he has no harness. He has no balancing pole. He has no net. And yet he was able to climb out of one of those capsules, get up there, and then, unlike normally what he does, which he walks on a wire, the wheel began to turn, which meant that he was a little less in control. It was really mechanically that he needed to respond. He said he had a little bit of a bobble at one point with one of the safety ladders up there that kind of gave way, and he didn't quite expect that. But all told, a great success. Now, the drama heading into this was, in part, the weather.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful sunny day here right now, but earlier we had some thunderheads moving in here. There was a lot of moisture already in the air, 90% humidity. We've had rain here in recent days. So up there on that little 6-inch beam that he was walking on, there was already some moisture there, and the fear was that as he walked, he might actually, slip on some of the water that had collected there, the little droplets. But even more of a concern was, and as you guys know better than me, but when the clouds are coming in, there's the possibility of lightning coming off the side of those thunderheads.
Yeah.
And I asked them, where is this grounded? And they said, the engineer said, well, it's grounded right where he's walking. So a lot of drama, but thankfully a very successful, amazing daredevil stunt here.
Yeah, Kerry, there was lightning all in South Florida this morning. So Central Florida, you guys are lucky you didn't see it dancing in the skies around him there.
No, it was, like I said, it was tense. We didn't see any lightning, but there were definitely thunderheads here. It started to rain a little bit, but it didn't, it was still big drops, but it didn't come down heavy. And you know, Florida rain, I mean, sometimes you have to pull off the side of the road because it's coming down that hard.
Yeah, absolutely, as it is in the Keys right now. Hey, Kerry, it's Cantori. Listen, I've been a part of this watching Nick as well in the past, but how long did it take you before you took your first breath as you're watching him?
Well, it's funny. I know Nick, so while I'm holding my breath, and I've done stuff with him in the past, I know what he's capable of. It's the unknown factor of all of this. It's not Nick's skill. I actually believe in Nick's skill. It's all the other factors, like it was a little windy up there today. He was talking about the wind, all of those sort of things. So I held my breath until he was actually back in the capsule with his family on his way down, and really quite dramatic. And let's face it. This guy's imagination is unlike most, even for you, Jim Cantori, because his plan is to next. His plan next is to put a wire across an active volcano, and he wants to walk across the active volcano.
No. There's so many incredible things we have to talk about if he's even planning on doing that. So many things that you have to think about.
Well, the heat coming out of that thing.
Not the least of which his wife says, if it burps, if, it actually were to let out some fumes, that sulfur could cause you to pass out.
All right, he's just fantastic. So are you, Kerry Sanders. Thanks for bringing us those cool moments that were aired earlier this morning on NBC. Kerry Sanders, thank you. Jen, take it away.
Yeah, I mean, how do you follow up something like that? Come on, guys. I mean, that is just so hard. Well, we want to talk about the weather conditions across parts of Florida. Showing you right now, we have rain to the south, and then we have this front right here. So really, Nik Wallenda got really lucky with that. As that front gets through later on, we could see some of those winds, about 15 to 30 sustained. Now we talk more about South Florida. They're getting hammered. As we show you some of the radar action now, you can see it from Fort Lauderdale down towards the south, including Key West. Let's show you a live view of Key West, and it is, we're going to call this rowdy. You can see the palm trees blowing around, clouds out there, not much with the form of visibility out there. We also have a flood advisory in effect until 11 a.m. So that is what's happening. We'll continue to follow weather conditions across parts of Florida. Back over to you, Sam.
And here's your feel-good morning for the moment. Watch this. A freak sledding accident this past winter left a Tennessee teen paralyzed from the waist down, and Butler, the therapy dog, goes into action.
It wasn't snowing at that time, but there was a good 8 to 10 inches on the ground. I hit the tree and it was just a loud ring. Once the ringing went away, I was just laying there and tried moving and nothing would move.
You know, could have easily killed him right there. That was probably the longest day and the longest night of my life.
An icy hill, a 6-foot sled, and a tree. That's all it took to shatter Austin Bonebreak's world in an instant.
I can feel from about here on my shoulders up, you know. I can't move or feel anything below my shoulders.
Austin now spends about 8 hours a day doing hardcore physical and occupational therapy at Atlanta's Shepherd Center. It is a new reality for the 16-year-old who lived to fish and hunt and now cannot take a step outside.
We're really excited to meet Austin. We'd heard his story and we're looking forward to meeting him.
Amy McCullough is National Director of Humane Research and Therapy at the American Humane Association and cares for Butler, the Weather Channel's therapy dog.
While Butler has been on the ground providing support after a number of weather disasters, this is his first one-on-one encounter with a patient who's being rehabilitated.
Butler, meet Austin. Butler comes bearing gifts, a ball, a brush, neither of which Austin's therapists are sure he can even hold.
Looks like he might have a little towel.
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Ready?
Watch out, buddy.
This is the first time Austin has been able to throw a ball since the accident.
That wrist is a new muscle that he just got in the last week
being
or so.
able to hold it up.
To be able to pull that up is a big task for him.
There you go. He was afraid to do it, but Butler inspired him to try it, and he was successful. And so for us to be just a small part of that was such an honor.
I'm ready to get back out there.
That's incredible. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, and you know, he's scheduled now to be released from the Shepherd Center on May 8th, go back home to Tennessee. And we just talked with his therapist. They say he has even more movement now in his wrist and in his arm. So he's really excited about that because now he can actually brush his teeth and use his iPhone. So huge, huge accomplishments already.
It just made you feel wonderful at that moment when he tossed that ball, when he was able to do it and he was motivated to do it. That's just such an awesome thing.
He was really nervous about it. He really wasn't sure if he would be able to play with the dog, with Butler, and he could do it. So
I love this morning. Julie, thank you for sharing that. Of course, I know Butler well enough to know all you really have to do to get his attention is have some treats. I mean, it's true. It's true. Let's just be honest. Butler is a total treat dog. If you have treats, you are Butler's pal.
Very true.
This program brought to you by Trifexis. Learn more and save money with a special offer at Trifexis.com.
Your relationship with your dog is pure. It's innocent. It's work, but it's perfect. You wouldn't trade it for the world. So protect your dog with Trifexis. Trifexis is the monthly beef-flavored tablet that prevents heartworm disease, kills fleas, and prevents infestations, and treats and controls hook, round, and whipworm infections. Treatment with fewer than 3 monthly doses after exposure to mosquitoes may not provide complete heartworm prevention. The most common adverse reactions were vomiting, depression, and itching. Serious adverse reactions have been reported following concurrent extralabel use of ivermectin with spinosad, one of the components of Trifexis. Prior to administration, dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection. You'll take it all, the good and the bad, because that's what makes your relationship irreplaceable. Protect your dog all year long with the 3-in-1 power of Trifexis. Available by prescription only. Talk to your veterinarian about how to protect every second you share together.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. High 87. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 72. Thursday, mostly cloudy. High 84. Winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
When it comes to good nutrition, I'm no expert. That would be my daughter.
Hi, Dad.
She's a dietitian. And back when I wasn't eating right, she got me drinking Boost. It's got a great taste, and it helps give me the nutrition I was missing, helping me stay more like me.
Boost Complete Nutritional Drink has 26 essential vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D to support strong bones, and 10 grams of protein to help maintain muscle, all with a delicious taste.
Grandpa!
Stay strong, stay active with Boost.
Our oath isn't an empty gesture. It's the heart and soul of Terminix Nation. The Terminix Ultimate Protection Guarantee. A vow that we kill every termite in your home. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminix.
Lowe's presents How to Get Inside Someone's Head.
I love the wicker.
I'd prefer the wood finish.
Green feels right.
Has to be blue.
2 seats is perfect.
3 seats would be better.
Those cushions really match your dress.
So, the other one then?
Let's get this one.
What are you thinking?
Nothing.
Now get the Pagosa Springs patio set for $98 at Lowe's, where your style comes together.
No one plans for a broken pipe or overflowing toilet to cause a flood in their home. But when the unexpected happens, don't panic. ServiceMaster Restore will respond to you anytime, day or night. No matter the cause of your emergency, we offer complete services to homes and businesses that help put things back together with ease. And with a nationwide network of local specialists, we can help with issues from water, fire, mold, natural catastrophes, and more. ServiceMaster Restore, the complete customer experience. Call or visit us online to learn more.
The FDA issued a public notice to doctors and patients concerning serious injuries caused by transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, and bladder sling. Please call now if you had one of these devices implanted in the last 5 years. You may be entitled to a cash award. If you had a transvaginal mesh, bladder mesh, pelvic sling, or bladder sling in the last 5 years,
please call 1-866-686-7952 now.
Did you know by age 50, half of all men have an enlarged prostate? This means more urges to urinate, longer bathroom trips, waking at night to urinate, or issues with intimacy. If this sounds familiar, call us now, because we're shipping free bottles of Super Beta Prostate to viewers of this station. Super Beta Prostate is a non-prescription formula guaranteed to reduce the symptoms of your enlarged prostate. It's yours free. Pay only shipping and handling. In clinical trials, the ingredient in Super Beta Prostate was shown to reduce urges to urinate, improve bladder emptying, reduce waking at night to urinate, and improve quality of life. This Super Beta Prostate free offer is for viewers of this station, but it won't last. Don't wait.
Call right now to get your free bottle while it's still free. Call 1-800-254-0215 or visit superbeta.com. That's 1-800-254-0215.
42 minutes after the hour, and so glad you're spending time with us this morning on AMHQ, because this is just in, and it's some great news to report. You'll remember that we've been following the story of the Americans who have been missing in Nepal after this earthquake. Well, on one of the stories that we brought to you yesterday, Marty Emanuel has been located alive in Nepal. You heard his story right here on AMHQ yesterday morning. Marty was just beginning a 2-week trek into Langtang National Park just 2 days before that massive 7.8 earthquake hit the region. Now, here's a statement from his family this morning. And basically it says, in quotes, "We got a text from Dad and Dilly. They are okay, and we're very happy right now. The challenge is we don't know where they are or when they plan to come back. Now, right now, we're trying to get more information," and that's the end of the quote there. But let me tell you, from them not hearing anything to at least getting a text message gives them an incredible lift and some unbelievable hope that everything's going to be okay. And we talked to other families since then, participants since yesterday's interview who are in exactly the same situation, and this will give everybody a lift. Saturday's deadly quake in Nepal is the latest result of an ongoing collision of giant pieces of Earth. Now, these enormous earthquakes can form in several ways, depending on the fault lines underneath the Earth's surface. To go in depth on the topic and understand it a little bit better, let's go to Philip Yam, managing editor for the scientificamerican.com. Hey, Philip, so let's talk a little bit about this terrible quake was caused by a thrust fault. So how does that type of fault work?
Yeah, a fault marks a boundary between two tectonic plates. In the case of a thrust fault, one plate is actually colliding with another, thrusting the ground upward. In the case of the Nepal fault, it's the Indian plate moving against the Eurasian plate. The Indian plate's moving about 2 inches per year northwards, and it caused the collision, uplifting creating the Himalayan mountains and the Tibetan plateau, actually.
I've got 1,000 questions for you, sir, on this, but let's deal with the other kinds of fault and movements. So I believe there's also slip?
Right. There's something called a strike-slip fault that's more commonly known as, it's in the San Andreas fault, the one that everyone, I think, in the U.S. knows about. That's a different one from a thrust fault. A strike-slip fault is when two plates are actually sliding past one another. But they don't slide past very gracefully. There's actually a lot of friction, and it actually sticks. But, of course, the plates are still drifting, so after a while, it just gives, and you feel an earthquake. It's a lot like pulling a... Yeah, it's a lot like pulling a piece of tape. If you pull it very gently, some of it starts unrolling, then it sticks, and then you keep pulling it a little bit more. Then all of a sudden it gives, and then you've got this longer piece of tape than you wanted. And that's basically how earthquakes work.
All right, and I've got about 30 seconds to ask you. Is one of those easier to predict or easier to see coming than the other one?
They're both difficult to predict. Certainly, there are known seismic risks. Scientists have mapped them out based on activity and history. In the case of Nepal, there's been a big earthquake every 80 years, but there are also smaller quakes throughout the region as well.
All right, Scientific American has a lot more on the quake online at scientificamerican.com. Philip, thank you so much. I want you to come back because I want to talk about how these things feel and what the different kind of damage is. We've got so many questions. Just come on back. We'll set it up for a couple of days. Thank you, sir. Appreciate the time this morning.
Happy to.
No, glad to. All right, we just mentioned that the San Andreas fault here in the U.S., and it's one of the most dangerous in the world. Here's more in today's Brainstorm.
Running 10 miles deep and 800 miles long, the San Andreas Fault divides the state of California in two, and that's the scary part. It forms the boundary where the Pacific tectonic plate moves northwest, slowly grinding against the North American plate, moving relatively southeast. And that separating, grinding movement is at a speed of 1.3 inches per year. That's about as fast as our fingernails grow, and that may sound slow. But over the 30 million years of the fault's existence, it's added up to a displacement of about 350 miles. At this rate, it may take another 100 million years, but Southern California will be grinded off into an island off the coast of the Pacific Northwest. Because of its size, the San Andreas Fault generates some of the most powerful earthquakes in North America and does it across a swath of land that almost 40 million people call home. Some of these quakes measuring as high as 8.0 on the Richter scale. And an earthquake of that magnitude can release up to 63 trillion joules of energy. And that's no small amount. It's as much energy as released by the most powerful nuclear weapon ever detonated by the United States.
I got bit by a snake.
C'est pas poison.
Poison?
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. I feel that.
C'est pas poison.
That's definitely poison.
Apparently, I'm immune to venom.
Immune to venom?
Steve.
In a matter of seconds, your life can change.
My kid's still in school.
And it just hit us.
This was it. The Weather Channel's most watched original program is back.
Things were just going everywhere. It was a nightmare. And then it was silent.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Currently in our area, 74 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. High 87. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 72. Thursday, mostly cloudy. High 84. Winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Had a headache, but now I don't. Excedrin is fast.
In fact, for some, relief starts in just 15 minutes. Excedrin.
Wow, that was fast.
Hey ladies, you love it. You gotta have it. Cinnamon Toast Crunch, because that cinnamon and sugar is so irresistible. Everybody craves those crazy squares.
True Green presents the Yardleys.
Sorry.
Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today. True Green. Live life outside.
Well, sir, after some serious consideration, I'd like to put in my 15-year notice.
You're quitting?
Technically retiring, sir. With a little help from my State Farm agent, I plan to retire in 15 years.
Wow, you're totally blindsiding me here. Who's going to manage your accounts? This is a devastating blow I was not prepared for.
Well, I'm going to finish packing my things. 15 years will really sneak up on you.
Jennifer will do your exit interview, and Adam made you a cake.
Red velvet.
Oh, thank you.
I made this.
Take charge of your retirement. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
You totaled your brand new car. Nobody's hurt, but there will still be pain. It comes when your insurance company says they'll only pay 3/4 of what it takes to replace it. What are you supposed to do? Drive 3/4 of a car? Now, if you had Liberty Mutual new car replacement, you'd get your whole car back. I guess they don't want you driving around on 3 wheels. Smart.
New car replacement is just one of the features that comes standard with a base Liberty Mutual policy. And for drivers with accident forgiveness, rates won't go up due to your first accident. Learn more by calling 1-888-380-5644. Switch to Liberty Mutual and you could save up to $423. For a free quote today, call Liberty Mutual Insurance at 1-888-380-5644. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
It was right on top of us. And then it hit. And you took it to the edge. Didn't give up.
All right, guys, looking at some pictures from the ISS. Yeah, massive is an understatement here. Massive dust storm engulfs the Gobi Desert this morning. Absolutely incredible. And it's kind of wild because not only do you see the dust clearly, the different colors, the difference certainly in what is cloud and what is dust, but there's almost like striations in the dust. So it's following the inversion or the stable layer, and it's also giving out a signature in the dust, which I think is absolutely amazing. So really, really cool shot here as we look at this from the ISS this morning. Always cool. So then you go to the regular satellite. You say, is this big enough we can actually see on the regular satellite? Well, yes. Look at this, coming off of Kyrgyzstan. Absolutely massive amounts of dust. Something looks like a post-frontal situation where we've had a weather system come through, strong high-pressure system obviously pushing all that dust off into northwest China. So, whew, awesome. Just awesome. All right, from dust to deluge in the South Florida here. Homestead has had 2.59 inches. Miami, 185. 246. We'll put an asterisk by Fort Lauderdale because that is a new daily rainfall record. Aerial flood advisory for the Keys. I had to smile a little bit when I saw that this morning because when you think about it, okay, so you have Keys, it's an island, the water runs off. What floods? Well, there's a lot of roads down here, and there's a lot of streets, and some of them are low-lying, so certainly you can get flooding in the Keys. Right now, you can see how the heaviest rain has sunk right down across the Keys. Heavy rain reported right now at Key West, thunder and lightning as well with this, so be careful. The model suggests this sticks around. We get a little break about dinner time, and then here it comes again with a few more showers and thunderstorms. And I think there's certainly a chance today it storms over Florida, even with the high cloud canopy, complements of the subtropical jet. So we've definitely got some action down and through here. All right, nice little cinnamon roll sitting right here north of Lake Superior. This is really what's going to eventually kick our low pressure system off the southeast coast out to sea. But what I like about the situation is it's probably going to give us a nice stable air mass over the northeast. We're not going to worry about too much. By about 1:30 this afternoon, notice the void of storms here around Chicago, more than likely because of the influence from the lake and through here. So our storms will kind of ride off toward the west and through here. We may get a little bit of thunder and lightning with this. I think if there's enough instability, small hail is certainly going to be an issue, but just a few showers. Most of this will be sub-severe, I think, as we go on through the day. But anytime the wind's off the water, whether it be Boston or Chicago or Buffalo this time of the year, you know it's going to be chilly. And by the way, behind that front, winds are going to charge. We're talking 20, 25 miles per hour in some spots, especially right near the lakeshore. All right, so late weekend, we see the ridge that's in the west begin to build into the plains. We'll watch a weather system ride from Canada across the Great Lakes. We will be pretty moisture starved here, but there'll be a few showers and thunderstorms. I mean, it's just that time of the year, so expect that. Then into next week, the pattern changes. So we get the trough in the west. We're back into the ridge and through here, and that means we start opening up the Gulf of Mexico again, which for the most part, right in through Saturday, is going to be shut off. So we will not have any kind of severe weather. We won't even have a dry line to deal with. But mid next week, we'll definitely have that. And we'll also watch the southeast coast because the models are trying to bring up some kind of subtropical low to keep Florida a little on the unsettled side. So there's that trough next Wednesday. This is the kind of flow that you would see certainly to bring the warm, moist air in off the Gulf of Mexico. The energy, the low pressure system at the surface. Severe weather. It's May. It'll be back in a hurry next week. Sam, back to you.
Yes, sir. Jim, you know, we always say it's a two-way conversation. We give you the weather and you guys give us weather as well. So let's go to Anna Rittis live in Centennial Park with the stories you're sharing this morning.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning to you at home. We must mention we are keeping an eye on Twitter and on Facebook, of course, but tomorrow is America's Preparathon Day, and we got this Twitter from our own Dr. Marshall Shepard, congratulating us on a great show today and wanting to share that Weather Geeks is on tonight at 8 p.m. with FEMA administrators. He's going to be talking to about weather issues and preparation. This day is to encourage people to take action and understand what they need to do in their community in the case of a hurricane, a tornado, or maybe even some flooding. But let's take a look at some of the pictures you've been sending in. These pictures coming in from overseas. You remember the Calbuco volcano eruption a week ago. I managed to make contact with someone who actually lives in this area. This is in the area where the volcano erupted. Government authorities are saying 210 million tons of ash have been spewed just across a vast area in Chile. We know that evacuation orders have been lifted, but many people, Sam, are going back to images like the ones that you see on your screen. Their homes, their cars just covered in ash. It's going to take a long time for them to try to be able to clean that up, and they have rain in the forecast for tomorrow.
Unbelievable. Anna Rittis, I'm so glad that you're out there getting these images because we can share them with people and they won't get a chance to see them anywhere else. Thank you, A-Rod, for doing what you're doing today. Also wanted to mention it's National Honesty Day.
Don't ask me. Don't ask me anything that's going to get me fired.
It's also National Shrimp Scampi Day. I don't know why Scampi needs a day, but if you need something to celebrate, there you go. Chris Warren and Julie Martin, have an amazing day.
Be on it.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. High 87. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 72. Thursday, mostly cloudy. High 84. Winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This is Weather Center Live. Thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Chris Warren.
And I'm meteorologist Julie Martin. You know, after a long month, we are getting a short break from some of the severe storms, but the April showers, they're not leaving quite yet.
Not just yet.
Not yet. We have a southern soaker. How long will the rain last for places like Atlanta, and where is this system heading next?
And get ready for a change. After plenty of April storms we've seen, we're going to break down the month of April itself, and then we're going to look ahead to what you can expect as far as severe weather as the U.S. approaches the peak of severe weather season.
And Nepal forever changed. We're going to take a look at the dramatic before and after pictures from the area ravaged by a massive earthquake.
And right now we have been tracking some storms that have been moving through this week. This is a look through the day yesterday as we saw these storms. We were tracking them here during the first hour and second hour of Weather Center Live as we were seeing these storms moving into and then eventually through parts of Central Florida. And then by the afternoon and evening hours, it did hit parts of South Florida. So still seeing some very active weather, and Julie, some spots still on the wet side in the south.
And Atlanta is one of them. We're still getting quite a bit of rain here coming through, light to moderate rain, mainly coming through the Atlanta area right now, pushing off into Athens and Eatonton as well. So all of this going to be kind of the name of the game throughout the day today. Let's get right now to Ana Ritis Rodriguez. She is covering the soggy southeast in Atlanta. Ana Ritis, how is it looking out there for you?
Hey there, good morning, Julie. Good morning to you at home. We've been out here since about 5 o'clock this morning, and the rain really started coming down at a steady clip around 7 o'clock this morning, and then it let up about 20 minutes ago. There wasn't any rain here at Centennial Park, which is where we find us. The beautiful Ferris wheel behind me, the fountains are up and going this morning, but the rain is not as heavy as it was earlier this morning. That caused a number of accidents in and around the metro Atlanta area. We had accidents on I-20. We had accidents on 75 and 85 as well. Can you imagine? Last week we broke a record, 54 days of rain, the wettest start of the year for Atlanta since records began taking records rather. And this month alone, 18 days of rain. We're nearing 7 inches of rain just this month, and it could be the 8th wettest April of all time here in Atlanta. But this rain is widespread from Huntsville, Alabama, all the way down to Miami. We saw showers and thunderstorms in Miami, which caused some problems for the morning commute. Take a look at this video coming from the Fort Lauderdale area, which was sent in by a user. Look at all of that water on the roadway. They had, since midnight, nearly 2.5 inches of rain just today. So as you can imagine, we're going to continue to see this rain in the forecast at least throughout the day today. For now, here in Atlanta, a rainy start to your Wednesday. Back to you.
All right, Ana Ritis, thank you so much. The good news is by the weekend, looking much better all across the southeast. So let's take it now again to what we can expect throughout the day as we time out the rain and the storms throughout the day today. This is a look at 11 o'clock in the morning. We're still going to see that moisture moving its way throughout Georgia and South Carolina. South Florida also continues to get wet throughout the afternoon hours, and we'll see that continuing even in through tonight. Georgia clears out, though, by around 6 o'clock. Atlanta, you'll be dry after that. The rest of the forecast looking good for you. The Carolinas, not so much. Jacksonville, showers and thunderstorms expected for you throughout the day. In fact, we could see some heavy storms by about mid-afternoon. So heads up for you. The commute home could be a little touch and go for you as well. Maybe you can get out of work a little early today. Drying out, though, for you in Mobile, Alabama after a rough couple of days. Look at this. Sun and clouds and 75, and we're looking even better here as we head in through the rest of the week. Chris?
A chance for rain, though. Not as much sunshine expected throughout parts of the Northeast. You wouldn't know it, though, as we look right now at Washington, D.C. Gorgeous view there in D.C. Looks like this might be from the top of the Washington Monument, looking off to the west there. And then on the right, Philadelphia. Temperatures right now in the lower 60s. However, expecting to see at least a chance for some rain for parts of the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. Here's a look at what's going on right now. As we take a peek here at the water vapor, it shows us the spin and the moisture in the atmosphere here, the mid and upper levels. So you get an idea right here. We saw with the Anna Ritis, it's on the west side in Atlanta. We're going to watch this low move offshore and then get close throughout parts of the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. And it's also going to meet up with this right here. You see this spin, these two coming together, moisture flowing to the north. Things are going to feel a little bit more humid ahead of the rain as that warm front gets closer. Have that upper disturbance. It's going to strengthen, and it's going to help strengthen this storm right here that we're expecting. Now, there's going to be a northward track, which means it's going to bring a little bit more rain. However, it's not as north and as close as it could have been. We're breaking down the forecast models coming up a little bit later to show you exactly what we're talking about, because there are still two potential tracks, and they're getting a little bit closer together, which is a little bit farther away. We're going to show you those coming up in just a little bit here on Weather Center Live. But chance for rain continuing today into the southeast, and then tomorrow, Philadelphia, you're close. You're very close to seeing that rain. Looks like there's a chance for rain for you. And then on Friday, still that threat for some showers and possibly some of the heavy rain associated with that low, depending on where the track is, will really depend on how much rain and how much wind you ultimately will end up with. So looking at Virginia and North Carolina, parts of Delaware, really going to be in that mix for some rain Thursday and then again on Friday. So when it's all said and done, some of the areas closer to the low will end up with more rain, and some of the areas where you have mountainous regions, you get some enhanced rainfall. You could see a little bit more rain here as well. That's again through Friday, could see a couple of inches. So for Philadelphia and Washington, D.C., both areas are going to have that chance for some rain Thursday and Thursday night. Friday, you're going to have a chance for a little more drying conditions, with temperatures are going to run into the 60s. Again, we're going to break down that coastal low where we're going to have that chance potentially for seeing some of the strongest winds. And we're going to take a look at this, the GFS model, and we're going to compare it to another model, the European model, and let you know just if they're coming in line, separating, and what that means ultimately for your forecast.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to see how the two kind of come together, and then certain things are a little bit different, a little bit tricky toward the end there. Coming up, we'll have the very latest from Nepal, including the miraculous story of a man found alive after 4 days buried in the rubble.
And some of the devastation here is pretty hard to comprehend until we see it from space. We're going to show you some of the before and some of the after pictures. Let you know exactly what we're seeing right here, coming up on Weather Center Live.
If you're an adult with type 2 diabetes and your A1C is not at goal with certain diabetes pills or daily insulin, your doctor may be talking about adding medication to help lower your A1C. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Once-a-week Tanzium is an injectable prescription medicine that may improve blood sugar in adults with type 2 diabetes, along with diet and exercise. Once-a-week Tanzium works by helping your body release its own natural insulin when it's needed. Tanzium is not recommended as the first medicine to treat diabetes or in people with severe stomach or intestinal problems. Tanzium is not insulin. It is not used to treat type 1 diabetes or diabetic ketoacidosis and has not been studied with mealtime insulin. Do not take Tanzium if you or your family have a history of medullary thyroid cancer or multiple endocrine neoplasia syndrome type 2, or if you're allergic to Tanzium or any of its ingredients. Stop using Tanzium and call your doctor right away if you experience symptoms of an allergic reaction, which may include itching, rash, or difficulty breathing. If you have signs of pancreatitis, such as severe stomach pain that will not go away and may move to your back, with or without vomiting. Or if you have symptoms of thyroid cancer, which include a lump or swelling in your neck, hoarseness, trouble swallowing, or shortness of breath. Tell your doctor about your medical conditions and all medicines you're taking, and if you're nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Taking Tanzium with a sulfonylurea or insulin increases your risk for low blood sugar. Common side effects with Tanzium include diarrhea, nausea, injection site reactions, cough, back pain, and cold or flu symptoms. Some serious side effects can lead to dehydration, which may cause kidney failure. Ask your doctor if adding once-a-week Tanzium is right for you. Go to Tanzium.com to learn if you may be eligible to receive Tanzium free for 12 months. Make every week a Tanzium week.
I'm Sam. Jim's here as well this morning.
We're all in this together.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome.
That was good.
And if you were watching AMHQ, then you know we got you up and out this morning. All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. High 87. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 72. Thursday, mostly cloudy. High 84. Winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tomorrow morning, National Preparathon Day, what you need to know before the next natural disaster. That's Wake Up with Al and AMHQ tomorrow morning at 5, only on the Weather Channel.
The termite swarm has come. Enter the legions of Terminex with 85 years of experience and the strongest guarantee in the business. Sorry, termites, we got our swarm of our own. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminex.
Fact. When pharmacists are in pain, the medicine in Advil is their #1 choice for pain relief. More than the medicines in Tylenol or Aleve. Use the medicine that pharmacists use most for themselves. Relief doesn't get any better than this. Advil.
I have a video I want you to watch, and no matter what, I need you to stay focused. Don't take your eyes off the screen.
It's hard to stay focused. Text message alerts from Chevy let you send a text response at the touch of a button so you can focus on driving.
This will make it a little easier to keep my eye on the road.
It's amazing.
Are you a man over 40 and feeling tired, losing muscle, have less romantic drive? Then you need Ageless Male, with an ingredient clinically shown to increase free testosterone levels. Ageless Male is now available at these fine retailers.
Right now on Weather Center Live, as we track the aftermath of that devastating earthquake in Nepal, this is some of the new video coming into us, into the Weather Channel here. This is from NBC's Richard Engel, who's there reporting. It looks like he's over the Himalayas and at base camp there in Mount Everest. At least 17 people died on the mountains after Saturday's quake and the avalanches that happened afterward. Three rescue pilots told Richard Engel that they do not believe there are any more climbers trapped on Mount Everest. They believe all climbers have made it back to base camp or have been evacuated. Meanwhile, the search for survivors continues in Nepal's capital city of Kathmandu. The numbers certainly are staggering. Over 5,000 dead and thousands more injured.
And as NBC's Miguel Almaguer shows us, survivors are still being found in the rubble.
A new look at the devastating quake. These pictures taken Saturday in Tibet. But neighboring Nepal remains hardest hit. Finding survivors here has become a race against time. 28-year-old Rishi Kanali pulled alive from the rubble more than 80 hours after the quake. But the desperate search doesn't always have a happy ending.
Scenes like this have been happening all day long. Another body recovered from the rubble and now rushed to the hospital.
Moments later, volunteers are back at work.
Why are you here?
To help. 62-year-old Canadian Ross Prince has been digging 12 hours a day since the quake struck.
I was visiting a monastery, but here I am. In one crazy way, I'm probably in a better place now doing something.
Just across the street, people looking for missing relatives watch and wait.
In some areas of Kathmandu, they've given up hope. Beneath this rubble a few days ago, they could hear cries for help, even tapping. But now, they've gone.
For survivors, more hardship. Rain and wind hammered tent cities. Disease could easily spread here. But hospitals are out of room. No empty beds, only the promise of more patients to come. In remote villages, helicopters search and find more destruction. On Mount Everest, climbers trapped by the avalanche have been airlifted out. The climbing season is over. This rescue team from Virginia arriving in Kathmandu to join the search. This is why they've come. A woman rescued, pinned underneath concrete for 2 days. There's still hope here, but less of it with each passing day. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News, Kathmandu, Nepal.
Just devastating. And we have some incredible images to show you of the before and after pictures coming out of this area.
And this is a look from space. And what you saw there on the ground with Miguel, a lot of the historic structures crumbled. And you got to think of how long they've been around for. And here's one of those. As you look right there, you can see in this enclosed area, and you can see the shadow. So you can tell that it's tall just by the fact that there's a huge shadow here, and there's not a lot of shadows that are that long with some of the other spots. So that's the before picture. Now this is the after. It's a little bit darker, but you can see no more shadow here.
Right.
However, you do have some shadows right here, and it's basically just some rubble, Julie.
Yeah, some of these historical structures are not replaceable. I mean, all of them are not replaceable at this point.
Right. I mean, the people that built them, there was, you know, generations ago. So now, again, another spot. We've highlighted a few areas, and again, you look at the shadow. You can see the shadow right there. Something that's a little bit taller, and you can tell these items. When you look at maps, you can kind of tell historical areas. It doesn't look like the rest of the development. So that's the before. This is the after. Again, you have to look closely, but you can certainly tell that there is rubble in there instead of the structure before.
Yeah, it looks like nothing left. All right.
And here's something else. We're going to show you a little bit later. You can see this open field, but now there's something in this field. We're going to explain that coming up in the next hour here on Weather Center Live.
We'll be right back.
When it comes to good nutrition, I'm no expert. That would be my daughter.
Hi, Dad.
She's a dietitian. And back when I wasn't eating right, she got me drinking Boost. It's got a great taste, and it helps give me the nutrition I was missing, helping me stay more like me.
Boost Complete Nutritional Drink has 26 essential vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D to support strong bones, and 10 grams of protein to help maintain muscle, all with a delicious taste.
Grandpa!
Stay strong, stay active with Boost.
Oh, I love game night. Oh, it's a house and a car.
So far, you're horrible at this, Flo.
Yeah, no talent for drawing, Flo. House, car. Oh, raise the roof. No one?
Remember when we used to raise the roof, Diane?
Oh, quiet, Richard. I'm trying to make sense of Flo's terrible drawing.
I'll draw the pants off that thing.
Oh, hats on hamburgers. Dancing. Drive-in movie theater.
Home and auto.
Squares. Lamp.
Lines. Stupid, dumb.
No. Home and auto bundle from Progressive. Saves you money.
Yay, game night. So much fun.
My budget was always second-guessing me when I'd buy stuff for the family. Fingerhut. 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 At Fingerhut.com, we can shop with low monthly payments. Over 200,000 items and growing from brands like Samsung, Lego, and KitchenAid. Just click on over to Fingerhut.com to get the credit you deserve and great stuff for your family. Oh, not Fingerhut. I got that at a garage sale. For $1.
I got bit by a snake.
C'est pas poison.
Poison?
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Okay, yeah. I feel that. C'est pas poison. That's definitely poison.
Apparently, I'm immune to venom.
Immune to venom?
Steve.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, Sundays at 9, only on the Weather Channel.
Xfinity sales professionals are always on the go, meeting new people every day. They're helping families get the latest Xfinity products and services. And they're making customers happy. Jumpstart your career with the best sales training in the industry. Great benefits like discounts on your own Xfinity services and the potential for high earnings. Have what it takes? Apply today and see what doors open for you.
The Luxury Uncovered event is going on now at Alpacker Lincoln.
Enjoy exceptional savings on your favorite Lincoln models, like a 2015 Lincoln MKX, just $389 a month, or the new 2015 Lincoln Navigator, just $599 a month. And bottom line windshield pricing on over 200 new Lincolns. The Luxury Uncovered event at Alpaca Lincoln on Military Trail. And remember,
before you buy, Price Packer.
Tomorrow morning, National Prepare-a-thon Day, what you need to know before the next natural disaster. That's Wake Up with Al and AMHQ tomorrow morning at 5, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. High 87. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 72. Thursday, mostly cloudy. High 84. Winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
And right now we're showing you 3 different areas in the U.S. You have Texas, the Southeast, and then the Northeast. And Julie, it's not Christmas time, but it's kind of like the ghost of Christmas past, the ghost of Christmas, the present, and then the future here. And we're going to get into the future, but this is all associated with one thing. It's not Christmas, it's a pesky low.
And it's the same one that keeps hanging around, and we've watched it now move through Texas, now in Atlanta, and eventually Philadelphia.
That's right. So that's the pesky low's future. And we're here now to break down what's going to happen, because the future it's never set in stone, right?
That's right.
But fortunately, as meteorologists, we can look at different computers that are, they're running supercomputers using these amazing equations that end up bringing us these forecasts.
And they never come out quite the same.
Right. There's different models. It's not just one computer. There's a lot of computers, and some are run in the U.S., some are run in other parts of the world, including Europe, which you're going to look at, and I'm going to look at the other solution for this pesky low from the U.S.
All right. So let's get started.
This is at noon today. Both pretty lined up on the same area.
Right here.
And then as we watch it, they're still pretty close in line. Some rain, a little bit more rain with the American model here by tomorrow morning, Thursday morning at 8:30 throughout parts of North Carolina and South Carolina.
Yeah, the European model has always kept this a little bit farther offshore, and it continues to do so. Even as we move through Thursday here around 10 o'clock, you'll notice it's way offshore. Still getting some rain, though, into Norfolk. Yeah.
Same idea, same areas, but still a little bit more rain with the American model. Now we're into noon here with the U.S. GFS model. This is noon on Friday, similar to what you have there.
Very close. All right, so we're neck and neck at this point.
Right, as
the
far
Americans
as the rain
and the
goes.
Europeans. All right, and then as we progress beyond this, that's where it gets a little interesting. So the winds are what we're concerned about with this system. Winds and rain, that's going to be the name of the game. So we're going to watch this as it moves up here. This is, again, the European model, still showing relatively light winds, even by around 8:30 on Thursday morning, tomorrow morning.
So that's the European. Now we're going to look at the American model. Today, around the noon time, we're going to watch this low move off South Carolina, North Carolina. Notice we compare them to, here's apples to apples as far as the time goes, 8:30 to 8:30. However, more blue and purple, which means some stronger winds here now by tomorrow morning with the American model.
All right, so we're going to keep going here, and we'll notice the winds pick up with the European model in places like D.C., Atlantic City by Thursday late morning. So that's what it's showing there, and then by Friday around noon, again, working all the way up into Atlantic City.
While the European says Norfolk will have about 10 to 15 mile an hour winds, now the GFS, the American model, saying 25 to 30 mile an hour winds, and Atlantic City 20 to 25, about 10 miles an hour stronger there.
All right, big difference. Okay, so let's compare our model runs. This is where we can see the big differences. Now, these are the last 3 model runs of each model that we're looking at here. So from Monday night, the European model had this way offshore. Tuesday morning, still way offshore by Friday at noon, and then farther out on the last model run, which is great news for the coastal areas.
So, but kind of going back and forth a little bit.
Exactly, a little bit.
Now, the American has been trending. Each forecast model is going a little bit farther away. So they're getting a little bit closer together.
Coming together closer. I think your model initially had everything much closer
Much
to
closer,
shore.
very stormy. We were talking nor'easter. That doesn't look like the case right now, just more wind and rain.
All right. Well, after a record slow start to the severe season, April has more than made up for it.
And coming up, how quickly the season changed. Plus, an early look at May. The severe weather returning to the plains in the Midwest as early as this weekend.
And the PGA Tour in San Francisco this week for the World Golf Championships Cadillac Match Play.
Lowe's presents How to Get Inside Someone's Head.
I love the wicker.
I'd prefer the wood finish.
Green feels right.
Has to be blue.
2 seats is perfect.
3 seats would be better.
Those cushions really match your dress.
So, the other one then?
Let's skip this one. What are you thinking?
Nothing. Now get the Pagosa Springs patio set for $98 at Lowe's, where your style comes together.
Shop Lowe's for all your spring gardening needs. Plants, tools, and the knowledgeable people who can help you spring into spring.
I am never getting married.
Never.
Guaranteed.
You picked a beautiful ring.
Thank you. We're never having kids.
A little bit here.
We are never moving to the suburbs. We are never getting one of those. We're never having another kid.
I'm pregnant.
I'm never letting go.
For all the nevers in life, State Farm is there.
Hi, I'm Cassie DePaiva. A couple of years ago, I introduced the No-No hair removal system to millions of television viewers. I talked about how much this ingenious invention solved all my unwanted hair problems and how much I love it. And you know, I'm not the only one. Beauty editors love it. And millions of satisfied customers around the world love No-No too. No-No stands for no hair, no pain. And unlike some of those other home devices, you can use No-No all over your body, including your face.
It gets rid of your facial hair. It gets rid of hair on your arms, your legs. I cannot say enough positive things about the No-No.
After just a few short weeks, the hair just stopped coming back.
No-No was developed by Radiancy, a global leader in professional light, heat, energy-based devices used by doctors, medical spas, and estheticians.
What sets No-No apart from professional laser or light-assisted hair removal is that it can be used on all skin colors safely.
I've done bleaching, buffing, I've even shaved it, but the No-No's really been a miracle for me.
I always hated the hair on my chest, and I did try to wax it by myself one time at home, and the pain was unbearable. And with the No-No hair, it's painless, and the hair's gone for weeks.
Now it's time to see the results for yourself. That's why my friends at Radiancy are willing to let you try No-No risk-free for not 30 days, but listen to this, for 60 days. If you use No-No for 60 days and you're not 100% satisfied, then we'll refund your purchase price, refund your shipping and handling, and even pay the return postage. So here's your chance to try No-No risk-free.
Call 1-800-250-9135 for your risk-free 60-day trial or go to nonopro.com. That's 1-800-250-9135. 1-800-250-9135. Act now.
In a matter of seconds, your life can change.
The Weather Channel's most watched original program is back.
Things were just going everywhere. And then it was silent.
This was it.
This is just the beginning of what's to come.
Currently in our area, 75 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. High 87. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 72. Thursday, mostly cloudy. High 84. Winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Tomorrow morning, National Prepare-a-thon Day, what you need to know before the next natural disaster. That's Wake Up with Al and AMHQ tomorrow morning at 5, only on the Weather Channel.
Thanks so much for staying with us here on Weather Center Live. I'm meteorologist Julie Martin.
And I'm meteorologist Chris Warren. April, certainly we saw the severe weather, like we were looking at some of the pictures there. Severe weather picking up, including tornadoes.
Right. And, you know, it's interesting when you look at the climatology, what's average, what's not. And we had a pretty slow start to the season, but it looks like April really, we ramped things up. And
ramped up in a big way.
For it.
Yeah, and not quite to the peak yet of severe weather season. So we are still looking at the threat of a lot more strong storms in the future for many places. We're going to break down the numbers, look back at how much or how many storms we've seen with tornadoes, and then look ahead to who's more likely to get some strong storms in the coming
May
months.
also a very big month for severe weather. So, all right, let's take you now to Atlanta Live, where we are looking at some rain out there outside the Coca-Cola headquarters and 56 degrees. It is chilly out there today, Chris.
Yeah, it certainly is. Much different than what you've been dealing with lately, with a lot more rain, wet roads you're dealing with in Atlanta. This is the scene here. You can see a little bit of a little brightness on the horizon here, but generally looking like a bit of a wet and gray day with more rain, Julie, moving in.
And the radar is showing that. Taking you out now to live radar, we are looking at that rain moving in through Atlanta. A lot of the heavier rain pushing off east, though, over toward Athens and into the Carolinas. We can expect more of that throughout the day today. We're also getting ample rain in South Florida, a little bit working its way right now into the northern Florida panhandle, where we could see some active storms later on today as well. So as we take a look ahead and time this out for you, this coastal low that we're dealing with really just going to be kind of meandering around for the next couple of days and really bringing a lot more rain to the south here. So looking at the Carolinas by the time we get into tomorrow, and then making its way up the coast. Miami, some showers and thunderstorms expected for you even this evening. And as we look at Jacksonville, Florida, as I mentioned, you are one of the cities in line for the potential for some strong storms later on today. So as we hit about mid-afternoon, could see some very heavy rain and thunder that could really slow you down for the ride home, even around 5 or 6 o'clock. And then by around 9 o'clock tonight, we start to see things settle down a little bit there in Jacksonville, Chris.
And Julie, right now we're going to take a look at the severe weather season so far to date. A look at just how many storms we started out with compared to April. Things really picked up in April. So this is a look at combined severe weather reports, whether it be hail, wind, or tornadoes, combined January and March. And then this is just April right here. And you can see more than 1,000 hail reports, wind reports, and more than 150 tornadoes reported just the month of April. 39 tornadoes reported from January, February, and March. So really seeing that uptick in severe weather. Now what you're looking at here, this is the calendar of April, excluding the 29th and the 30th. Not there yet. And you see here the different shades of red. That's the darker the red, the more reports that day. And you can see there are a lot of days when there were severe weather reported. There was severe weather reported. Now what we're looking at is the predominant day, the type of weather you had. Hail, you can see the little bouncing balls there, or wind, these lines doing the little curly cues. Those were the predominant features. And then here are the tornado days right here, where there were 10 or more tornadoes reported. You can see here 9th, the 19th, back to the 16th, and then the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th, all reporting 10 or more tornadoes on those days in the month of April. And only a couple of days when you didn't have severe weather reported somewhere in the United States. Now, April 2015, you can see the preliminary tornadoes reported, and some were confirmed. You see here a couple even on the West Coast in Oregon and in California. But then a big uptick here as you move to the east. Texas is a bigger state, bigger target for severe weather, 51, 5 in Florida. And then we know that in Illinois and Missouri, you had 9 to 11 there. So quite a bit of action throughout the middle of the U.S. And now looking ahead to the month of May now, on average, you're increasing your chances here in Oklahoma 5 times compared to the rest of the country, 2 times in Texas. So you can see the red states generally the places where you see that uptick or the greater chance for seeing tornadoes in the month of May as we approach that peak of severe weather season. And for May, past 20 years on average, you get about 277,000. It was 277 total. And then about 130 last year, so much quieter last year. And then in 2003, that was the record, 542 tornadoes in the month of May. Julie?
Yeah, those are numbers we don't like to hear about, right? Well, we're getting a break from the severe weather for now, a much deserved break, but there is some more to come. I want to take you to late weekend right now. We have another cold front that's going to be pushing in from the east, meeting up with some moist flow from the Gulf of Mexico, which is opening up. So we're going to watch this low once again coming out of the plains and sparking the potential for some strong storms, perhaps tornadoes, damaging winds, and hail. From mid to next week, we are looking again at this storm system developing here, starting to move through Texas. We also have a stalled front draped across the middle of the country, into the east even for that matter. So we're just allowing all of this moist, unstable air to come up and meet up with these dynamics. That's the setup. So the storms returning here on Sunday and through Monday across much of the middle part of the country. Monday, Chicago, Milwaukee even in line for some scattered strong storms. And then the storms returning big time by the time we hit Tuesday, looking at Dallas, Houston, Oklahoma City, Little Rock, and San Antonio, all in line for showers and thunderstorms. So here's your forecast for you in Dallas. Again, we're looking good through the weekend. A great weekend to get out and enjoy it. By Tuesday, though, we've got those hit or miss storms starting to ramp up in Dallas. Chris?
Right now, Julie, let's take a live look here on Weather Center Live at Phoenix. Blue skies, and things are really going to start heating up for you. In fact, right now it is 73 degrees this morning on a beautiful day here in the desert, and it is going to heat up. You're going to be experiencing what Phoenix is famous for, that desert heat. In fact, the first 100 of the year could be today. In fact, May 7th is the average date of the first 100 degrees for a high. And the warmest day so far this year was close to 100. It was 97. That was on March 29th, the 29th of March. So maybe not today, but you're going to be close. 94, 100 degrees. Our official forecast for tomorrow, and here you go, 101 on Friday, and then on Saturday and Sunday in the 90s, overnight lows dropping down only into the 70s. So things heating up for sure in the desert, and this is why. Upper level ridge temperatures will be warmer than average. And in fact, we're going to watch this high as it shifts into the upper Midwest and into the plains. Things are going to heat up, stay on the quiet side by the end of the week. Cool in the east while that ridge is building here throughout the central U.S. Temperatures in some cases more than 10 degrees warmer than average. And Minneapolis close to 70 by tomorrow. Friday, more of this red and orange moving into the plains and into the Midwest means things are going to be warming up. 66 in Chicago. Here's a look at Minneapolis, upper 60s. And then by Sunday, the potential for 80 degrees in Minneapolis. If you can believe that, much, much warmer than average.
It is about time. All right, coming up, we'll look at why the Southeast is not just wet today, but also feeling chilly.
Currently in our area, under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. High 87. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 72. Thursday, mostly cloudy. High 84. Winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
The Fiat 500 isn't alone anymore. It's part of a big Italian family.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service certified asthma and allergy friendly. It's our new standard of clean. Call about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
True Green presents the Yardleys.
Sorry.
Spring is on. Start your True Green lawn plan today. True Green. Live life outside.
Oh, this audit will take days. What a headache.
Actually, I don't have a headache anymore. Excedrin really does work fast.
In fact, for some, relief starts in just 15 minutes. Excedrin.
Wow, that was fast.
Nexium 24-hour. It's the purple pill. The #1 prescribed acid-blocking brand. Available without a prescription for frequent heartburn. Get complete protection. Nexium Level Protection.
The following is a true Lipozene success story. Meet Anna. Like so many of us, as she got older, she found it harder and harder to lose weight. But that's when she discovered America's #1 selling diet supplement, Lipozene. And with Lipozene, you won't believe what happened. So stay tuned. Lipozene is now sold over 20 million bottles. That's because Lipozene really works. In fact, it's clinically proven to help you lose weight without changing your lifestyle. And of the weight you do lose, 78% is pure body fat. And pure body fat is exactly what Anna lost when she discovered Lipozene. And now, for only $29.95, you can join the millions of people just like Anna who have lost weight with Lipozene. But wait, call right now and we'll double your order absolutely free. Plus, we'll even pay for your shipping. What about you? Are you ready to be the next Lipozene success story? Lipozene is now sold over 20 million bottles. That's because Lipozene can help you lose weight without changing your lifestyle. And to prove it, we conducted our very own double-blind clinical study where all we asked people to do was take Lipozene. That means they were not asked to change their diet or exercise. They were simply instructed to take Lipozene. And by just taking Lipozene, they lost weight. But here's where it gets really exciting. 78% of the weight they lost was pure body fat. And now, for only $29.95, you can join the millions of people who have lost weight with Lipozene. Lipozene is guaranteed to help you lose weight or your money back. But wait, call right now and we'll double your order absolutely free. Plus, we'll even pay for your shipping. What about you? Are you ready to be the next Lipozene success story? And now, meet Robbie. Like so many of us, he wanted to lose weight, but didn't know how to do it. But that's when he discovered America's #1 selling diet supplement, Lipozene. And with Lipozene, you won't believe what happened. So stay tuned. Lipozene is so powerful, it's clinically proven to help you lose weight without changing your lifestyle. And of the weight you do lose, 78% is pure body fat. And pure body fat is exactly what Robbie lost when he discovered Lipozene. And now, for only $29.95, you can join the millions of people just like Robbie who have lost weight with Lipozene. Lipazine is guaranteed to help you lose weight or your money back. But wait, call right now and we'll double your order absolutely free. Plus, we'll even pay for your shipping. But that's still not all. To celebrate selling over 20 million bottles of Lipazine, we'll give you a free bottle of the metabolism-boosting Metabo-Up with your order. That's a $20 value free. But you must call right now because this exclusive free offer is not available in stores. What about you? Are you ready to be the next Lipazine success story?
To order your Lipazine, call 1-800-870-0658. That's 1-800-870-0658.
In Alabama, the U.S. Coast Guard is hoping it will find 3 missing boaters alive. The 3 went into the waters of Mobile Bay when a deadly storm with hurricane-force winds hit during the 57th annual Dauphin Island Regatta. The Gadsden family got caught in that storm. Earlier today on AMHQ, they described to Sam Champion how fast the storm overtook them and the 2 things that saved their lives.
Like you said, it changed really fast. We saw the lightning come in, and probably about 7 minutes later, that's when we pretty much hit the 73-mile-an-hour winds. And it hit us for about 7 seconds, and then we were in the water. So it was pretty quick.
Let's just talk about, can you guys maybe help other folks get involved in changing these things with these regattas? Is this organized or just your community that does it?
Well, there's 3 yacht clubs on Mobile Bay, and they rotate each year for the regatta. The only thing they didn't have this year, well, they've never had, is when you register for the race, you put the skipper down. You don't say who is on your boat.
Yeah.
So that's the hardest part, is the Coast Guard says, okay, how many people are out in the water? You really don't know. You don't know how many people are on the boats.
And Hannah, you weren't really an experienced sailor. You'd had, what, about an hour on the way out to practice around. But you're one of the folks who was well prepared. What did you have with you? What did you have that made the difference?
We had a disabled iPhone that turns into an emergency phone. So we were able to call 911, and then we had a handheld GPS so we could give our coordinates.
Hey, Sarah, you're in another boat. You weren't sailing with your dad like you normally were. So let's describe how bad the weather was. Had you ever seen anything like this even on land?
No, I really haven't seen anything like that before. I was with a 74-year-old man, so I had my faith in him. And basically, it was a bit scary at first, seeing it just get pitch black, and it was white too. With the rain and the lightning, it was something that I've never experienced before.
This to me just said, you've got it together. You're prepared for the worst to happen, and you just seem so cool in action.
Well, it was a little nerve-wracking, but I guess the whole thing is you got to remember to stay calm, because when you start freaking out, that's when everything goes downhill.
Oh, we wish them all the best. Fortunately, the weather has settled down there in Mobile Bay. Here's your forecast for Mobile, Alabama. Drying out today through Friday. Looks like a gorgeous forecast with a mix of sun and clouds, and highs in the high 70s by the time we hit the weekend. Chris?
Ooh, that looks pretty good there in Mobile. Parts of the southeast, though, other parts of the southeast will be dealing with some cooler air and some showers. We have this area of high pressure that's helping to bring some of that wind from the east in some areas. It's not a classic big setup for what we call the wedge, where you get this cold air wedged into the mountains and you get the gray, kind of gloomy, wet skies here. But we are still going to see a similar outcome as far as the clouds and the rain. Today, we're going to have temperatures running only into the 60s for Charlotte, Atlanta. You can see all the red is to the south in southern Georgia and into Florida. That's where the warmer temperatures are going to be. So as we look here, this is the hour-by-hour forecast that's going to take you right into tomorrow. It's going to stay on the wet side. It's going to still deal with that east wind here in Atlanta, and it's that east wind that's going to bring in some of that cooler air, lifting it up into elevation, bringing some of the clouds. And then by tomorrow, things improving as far as the sky conditions go. You're going to be dealing with a little bit more sunshine with a high around 70 late in the day. And again, temperatures in the extended period gradually warming up. About the same Thursday and Friday, but by Sunday, Jill, even with a few more clouds, highs will get to around 80 degrees.
I like to hear it. All right, thank you, Chris. Well, after some rough weather in Florida this week, the skies cleared for Daredevil Nick Walenda's latest adventure this morning. Coming up, the sights and sounds from his stunning high wire act, 400 feet high, atop of the Orlando Eye.
When it comes to good nutrition, I'm no expert. That would be my daughter.
Hi, Dad.
She's a dietitian. And back when I wasn't eating right, she got me drinking Boost. It's got a great taste, and it helps give me the nutrition I was missing, helping me stay more like me.
Boost Complete Nutritional Drink has 26 essential vitamins and minerals, including calcium and vitamin D to support strong bones, and 10 grams of protein to help maintain muscle, all with a delicious taste.
Grandpa!
Stay strong, stay active with Boost.
Clorox knows a lot of dusters just push dust around. New Clorox dust wipes have the power to grab and hold on to dust, allergens, and even hair, all with just one wipe.
I wish I had this much hair.
Can't help you there. Real dusting for your real life.
We have a tornado on the ground. It's moving. We know you can't control the weather.
That's looking good.
So we build things to harness it.
That's awesome.
They hit the water. Game on.
Up here in Southeast Alaska, the Coast Guard's last line of defense.
This is about how far you can push yourself.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. High 87. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 72. Thursday, mostly cloudy. High 84. Winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
This audit will take days. What a headache.
Actually, I don't have a headache anymore. Excedrin really does work fast.
In fact, for some, relief starts in just 15 minutes. Excedrin.
Wow, that was fast.
Our oath isn't an empty gesture. It's the heart and soul of Terminix Nation. The Terminix Ultimate Protection Guarantee. A vow that we kill every termite in your home. Not here, not now, not in my house. Terminix.
Zantac heartburn alert! Stop! Nexium can take 24 hours to work. Zantac's different. Zantac rushes relief in as little as 30 minutes. For relief without the wait, try Zantac. No pill relieves heartburn faster.
You should see me when I play basketball.
Oh, hey, look, it's Kevin Durant.
Hey, we're drinking your Kevin Durant signature slushes.
You give me one?
No.
I play for him.
All right.
One-on-one?
On one?
What?
Now what are you gonna do? Don't go to the left, go to the right.
Did go right.
No, not your right, my right.
What are you talking?
Ooh, we got slushed.
Oh, he got slushed.
Up your game with the new Kevin Durant Signature Candy Slush, part of our Slush headquarters. And don't forget our half-price shakes after 8 p.m. This is how you Sonic.
A home is more than just a house. And an office is more than just a place to work. ServiceMaster is here to offer home and business services when you need them most. We take on jobs big and small. From coast to coast, there's no project we haven't seen before. We do it all for you.
I'm Matt Paxton from TV's Hoarders. I clean the messiest homes across the country. When I need help, I count on ServiceMaster Clean. Call or visit them online.
You totaled your brand new car. Nobody's hurt, but there will still be pain. It comes when your insurance company says they'll only pay 3/4 of what it takes to replace it. What are you supposed to do? Drive 3/4 of a car? Now, if you had Liberty Mutual new car replacement, you'd get your whole car back. I guess they don't want you driving around on 3 wheels. Smart.
New car replacement is just one of the features that comes standard with a base Liberty Mutual policy. And for drivers with accident forgiveness, rates won't go up due to your first accident. Learn more by calling 1-888-380-5644. Switch to Liberty Mutual and you could save up to $423. For a free quote today, call Liberty Mutual Insurance at 1-888-380-5644. See car insurance in a whole new light. Liberty Mutual Insurance.
All you got to do is show us something that's amazing out there. We love to see your pictures. Every picture you share, we'll try to share it as well right here on AMHQ.
Right now, this is Weather Center Live. We're looking at downtown Miami right now, 73 degrees. If you've never been here, Miami Beach would be behind you. There's a lot of inland waterways if you're not familiar with Miami, so this is not looking over the Atlantic Ocean or anything like that. We are looking back to the back of us is where the Atlantic would be and Miami Beach, but 73 degrees right now. It is cloudy, and Julie, it's wet.
It's not a good beach day there in Miami, South Beach, no.
In fact, we look right here, and we can show you on this map, on the radar, here's Miami. So again, that's looking this direction at kind of the edge of some of the rain, and some of the stronger showers have been around the Keys as well.
The Keys really got nailed this morning. In fact, I think there was some flooding there as well, and that's surprising given the amount of rain still coming in there. Those low-lying areas doesn't take a whole lot.
Yeah. Wet side. We're also tracking some showers right now all the way up along the Canadian border, Julie, as we're going to see some of these showers eventually move down to the Midwest. This is kind of neat too. Sometimes just even on the radar with limited rainfall returns, you can still make out patterns. Look at this right here. Do you see the direction that radar is moving?
Right.
And then this direction. So what do we know? Counterclockwise swirl.
Counterclockwise spin.
There's an area of low pressure somewhere in here, and if we look at the water vapor, here it is. There is that swirl around the low, so there will be a chance for some showers coming in. This is also low that's going to help energize what's happening in the southeast once they meet up together.
Right. But first we might get a little showers and storms coming even through Chicago, Milwaukee, and it's going to be kind of chilly there as well. So not the nicest of days here in the Midwest.
Here it comes. Late evening into tonight, chance for some showers, and then eventually moving off into Ohio.
Yeah. Good times.
Good times for just a few showers. Better chance for some storms mid to late next week as we see that pattern change once again. Moist flow coming in. Could see a dry line and a stalling front. So once again, after a little bit of a break, we're going to see that chance for some storms develop again, possibly some strong storms.
Here we go again, more severe as we head into May. All right. Well, switching gears a little bit now, Daredevil Nik Wallenda. He was at it again this morning. He walked along the Orlando Eye Ferris wheel in Florida during the broadcast of NBC's Today Show. Now, the eye is 400 feet high. He walked along the eye. As he was doing that on the wires that were just 6 inches wide. There he goes up there. And get this, Chris, the estimated winds at the time of the walk were around 20 miles per hour. It had rain there as well, so it was wet.
It's a little scary when you're walking along. Maybe if there were crosswinds, it's going to be a little unnerving when you're walking up pretty high. So check out some of the best moments right now from his walk.
All right, here we go. All right, take it easy on that ladder. It's a long way down. All right, Dad, let's do it. A little windy. We're good. Okay, Nick, here we go. There's definitely a lot of moisture. You can actually see it rolling under my feet up here. So
it looks like he's there. Nick, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congrats, son.
Thank you. Now to make it back in.
Yeah. Do his socks have like a special grip, I'm wondering, because the rain is what concerned me and slipping on the
And is he just going to go play on whatever he wants? Who decides what he gets to do here?
I heard next he's going to walk over a volcano. That's
walk over a volcano, the Grand Canyon, some buildings in Chicago, the Eye in Orlando.
10 times. I don't know how the guy does it, but he's a pro.
What about horse to horse? How about a couple of running horses with him in between them?
Speaking of horses, let's check out Louisville. We are looking at some showers tonight into tomorrow, but those cool temperatures, they're going to last you through the week. It's going to keep you in the 60s, but what about the Kentucky Derby on Saturday? Well, I think it's
What about
it?
It's not bad. It's when you don't see any raindrops, that's a good thing here. Temperatures are going to be in the 70s. So not hot, but you'll need the hat, won't you?
That's really a perfect forecast for the Derby. Look at that. Temperatures in the mid to high 70s. We've got plenty of sunshine, so a great day for a mint julep.
Also, you are invited to go along with the Weather Channel. It's our It's Amazing Out There spring tour, and Reynolds Wolf and Kate Parker, they're going to hit the road Friday through the weekend.
That's right. They are broadcasting at several locations across the South. They're starting in Natchez, Mississippi on Friday morning, and then they're traveling to the Chufalaya Basin in Louisiana on Saturday.
Cool stuff. We're going to be right back here on Weather Center Live, tracking that severe weather threat and looking back at April.
Currently in our area, 77 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Today, variable clouds with scattered thunderstorms. Gusty winds and small hail are possible. High 87. Tonight, partly cloudy skies. Chance of a shower or thunderstorm through the evening. Low 72. Thursday, mostly cloudy. High 84. Winds west at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Welcome to the second hour of Weather Center Live. Thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Chris Warren.
And I'm meteorologist Julie Martin. You know, after a long month, we are getting a short break from this severe weather, but the April showers aren't leaving just yet.
They're not yet for a lot of people in the South.
That's right, a southern soaker. How long the rain will last for places like Atlanta and where this pesky system is headed next.
And get ready for a change. After plenty of April storms, we're going to break down the entire